Hey, y'all. Hey, hope all is well with you. I am Leslie of LesAnn Creations coming to you from my workroom. Hoodoo. So, yeah, this is something I don't normally do, but I decided to do because I've been wanting to do a video, but I've been having issues. Y'all, let's just say, trying to be diligent about um, showing content and or putting up. Hey, now, putting up stuff that I want. Y'all, it's rough. It's rough and tough. Video is not great. Okay. It is a webcam. I'm doing it that way because I'm gonna tell you, I am down to one phone, which does not make me very happy. I'm down to one phone. What I usually do is I have one phone that I'll do recordings on or whatever else or videos on, and over maybe a week ago, I dropped my main phone face first on the concrete. Not happy, but it is what it is. So that's what's happened, and so it's made it difficult for me to get certain things done. So I had to do more videos or more content on my phone that I call on, which makes it really hard. And because my subscription number isn't high enough, excuse me, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't use my phone to do the recording. So anyway, all that spiel, that's a little extra. Sorry. If you don't already know who I am, I'm Leslie of LesAnn Creations. I have been doing ready to wear and custom wear. Well, first of all, I've been doing sewing. I've been sewing all my life. So between 30, more like 40 plus years, I have been sewing. I've always sewn for myself because I'm a thick chick and I have a lot of curves. And to get clothes to fit like I like them to fit, it was always easier to make my clothes. I transitioned from making my clothes for mostly myself and a few family members. And then, probably in the last 15 years or so, I started doing more clothes for other people. And then in about 2017, that's when I decided to open up LesAnn's Creations. I do alterations as well. Um, I pretty much do any alteration. I do limit them. Certain ones I don't like to do because it's really costly and I just don't have the energy. Anyway, so tonight I have been working on a couple things. So I really wanted to show this what's on the table right now, but where my camera is set up, I don't know if I can get it, fix it. If I can fix it so y'all can see it, then that'll be perfect. But anyway, so I'll show you one thing that I actually finished. I just got to put a hem in it, and because I didn't have my ironing board set up, that's the only reason why I didn't finish, and I didn't feel like turning my iron. But I'll probably have to stand behind the camera. I mean, behind the table so you can see it better. So I worked on this. What I'm doing right now, excuse me, what I'm doing right now is actually working on items that I can utilize for a fashion show that is coming up. I am doing a spring collection for the show. And I already have some things done that I may use. I still haven't set in stone. I never have anything set in stone until I'm ready to like designate who's wearing what, and that's when I make my final decisions because I try to work in color families or fat patterns that I like together, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood. I know sometimes we know what we want to do, and sometimes we don't. So this is a cover up, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to make like a little tank top dress. to go underneath because it is mesh. But this is, it's not the great. You know what? I'm going to put her on the mannequin. You may be able to see her better on the mannequin. This mannequin has been through a lot. She's been everywhere. Oh, it works. You won't see the bottom of it, but I'll show you the bottom. So this is the bottom of it. It does have pockets, as you can tell. Um, I did a top stitch, so it's. I'll give you a little bit more idea as to the way I did it. But this is, it is meant to be a little bit, hang a little bit on the shoulders, just a little bit. Each person's a little different. Just depends on how full your breast area is. Depends on how full it kind of lays. But I have this mesh. You can see strings. I still ain't cut nothing. But it's a mesh material. This is like a cobalt blue. The color may look a little different on screen. I use the African print or a knit on the sleeves. I did top stitching with a twin needle around the neckline, around the sleeve, as well as at the hemline. I added the pockets to it on the outside. The pockets are completely finished on the inside, so there's no raw edges. And you can kind of, well, you really can't see it much, but you can't see it. But the back of the pockets are actually lined with interfacing. And I use Tricot interfacing, which is a knit, a mesh, a knit based interfacing that you fuse on. Excuse me. So that's done. So you got two pockets. It is more like a calf-like length. So I figured if I did either the same material as a tank dress underneath, that will work. It's not going to be a long one because I only have but so much left, just depending on my mood. If not, I can always pull in one of the colors in here, which is a yellow, blue. Probably wouldn't do blue. I probably want a contrast, which I would do a yellow or a white or even the purple, but the purple is kind of dark. And depending on the skin tone of the person would depend on which one would work best. So that's the one thing I did finish tonight. Other than the hem, I got to do that, and it has to be trimmed. I usually have my husband to do a lot of the trimming for me. So right now I am getting ready to work on the next piece that's already pre-cut. That is one thing I tend to like to do, is to pre-cut a bunch of different things. That's why there's a lot of fabric on top of the table. I like the pre-cut, and you can't see it because there's a board right there, but these are bins underneath my table. And what I do is I pre-cut so many different things. Maybe it's a design I want to finish for myself. Not for sure if I'm going to show it, or it's a remnant piece that I want to do something with, so I don't leave a lot of leftover fabrics. That drives me nuts. But I'll like cut them out and roll them up and put them underneath. So sometimes they look like this. Because I am going to move on to the next item. So this is what I usually do. Sorry if the lighting's not great, but you can't see the color. I'm going to switch lights. Maybe the other light will do better. I think that light is drowning it out. Well, I don't know. The lighting's still not great. It bugs the heck out of me. But anyway, so I roll it up. I'll rubber band it, or I use this cellophane stuff that I'll wrap around it so that I can keep it together. And usually all the pieces are cut, including the interface, and maybe rolled up in here as well. But I have pulled a lot of it out to be able to work on it and see what I need to do. So Right now, this is already pre-cut. I just actually need to finish it. So this is, um, it does have a name because I have it in a different print, but I don't remember the name. And a lot of the clothes I do have are available on my website, which I'll make sure it's below. But it's available on the website, and I kind of just work within what I have. So, like I said, I'm trying to finish out this particular fabric is one that I had gotten, and I'm trying to clean out or finish up what I have left from this remnant. I think maybe it's a yard and a half, maybe left it. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with it. But this is basically an asymmetrical top, but not fully. So it's short on one side, and then it fans to the bottom, and it's actually long in the back. So it gives you coverage, but it gives you kind of a crop top look here. Um, it's going to be made with a more of a cap sleeve, and I like to make things easy for myself. So one, I got to finish measuring the neckline to be able to bind the neckline. I'm gonna do that. Um, then I'm gonna take the sleeve and actually sew across here to put some binding across the sleeve. I probably could have did it a different way. I could have had it a much longer sleeve or whatever, but because this sleeve is not straight across, it's not a straight hem line, it's kind of harder to do that particular look. So it's easier to take additional piece of fabric, which I'll put here so it makes sense to y'all. Take my little pin thing from hardware store, because there's a lot of great tools that you can actually use to make and do um, make and use it from the hardware store. Okay, there's a lot. All right, that's good. I think it shows you what I want you to see. So normally what I would have done with my sleeves, if I want to finish it off using my serger, I would have just took it, and if it was a straight line, it's much easier to do. I would fold it and do a faux hem on my serger. But because this hem, as you can tell, rounds, and this is, you see this look on more capped sleeves, um, capped sleeves, and because it's going in a hump like motion, it's kind of hard to do a curve. So it's easier to take another piece of fabric, and this piece of fabric is probably an inch and a half, I think. It's about an inch and a half. You can do about an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches. I think I'm gonna do the 2 inch one. So I just took a strip of fabric I cut, and it's actually a two. This one is a two-way, a four-way stretch, so it stretches both ways, but it may stretch more one way than the other, and usually that's cross grain. This is cross grain, more of a stretch. The other way is somewhat of a stretch, not big, but anyway. Let me not talk so much, which I do. Anyway, so I would take this material, fold it in half, fold it in half, and actually match it against the hem, serge across it, and then I would actually top stitch it with a twin needle so it lays flat. So it looks like the other item that I had. And I'll do a close up so hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. Hate that the lighting is not the greatest, but here you can see the top stitching. I may need to clean my little what's that called? My little camera next time I do this. We'll try to get better at doing something like this because it's somewhat easier to do it here. or do it that way. So that's pretty much what I am working on. So I'm gonna work on finishing it. Let me try to move back so you can see my face. I'm gonna try to work on finishing it. I will hopefully have a better video of me completing this particular project. Um, right now, like I said, I'm getting ready to do the neckline, and there's a way I do it when you do not have the original pattern. And this technique can be used on pretty much any pullover shirt that you want to put some binding or a band, neck band to. So hopefully this helps. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about what I talked about. Maybe you need a little bit more information. Make sure you always check out my other videos. They tend to be a little bit clearer, but we're going to work on it because eventually I'll get me a camera. That's what I decided that I'm going to have to do because having everything recorded under my phone, it's not going to work. Going live here, it'll work in short situations, but not often. So I'm going to step on off because I'm talking too much and I'm getting ready to start rambling. We don't want that. Thank you for watching. Catch you all the next time. Leslie of LesAnn Creations. Deuces.